Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Empyrion Galactic Survival with Spanj, and today we are going through 10 things that you must have in your blueprints library here in Empyrion. And number 1 is Drill Sergeant. And why Drill Sergeant over the Ladybug? Well, I've tried them both and I find Drill Sergeant just a little bit more stable. I actually have it here with me right now and I'm going to show you how this thing behaves, or performs I should say. Let's go into third person view. Where is a silicon deposit? I knew there was one around here. Am I literally on top of it? That's probably where it is. It's underneath me. Oh, I can't see it. There it is, there it is, there it is. So, Drill Sergeant I found is a little bit more stable than the Ladybug in terms of drilling. It doesn't flip around nearly as much. I know this is a giant bug within Empyrion right now, is drilling. But the Drill Sergeant I found is probably the nicest drilling hover vessel there is so far. It still does flip around quite a lot, but not nearly as much as the Ladybug deal. On top of that as well, the Drill Sergeant is just as cheap, if not, well, I think it's a little bit more expensive actually. Blueprints, hover vessels, Drill Sergeant, 330 iron ingots. That's Lady Big, where's Ladybug? Ladybug, 346. So actually, cheaper than the Ladybug. The Drill Sergeant as well can also have has space on top for you to mount a drill turret. Let me see if I can just pop one on here right now. I have one here. Look at that. And now it has a drill turret. We've got extra drilling needs. And this is really one of the first things that you want in the game, is a drilling hover vessel, because it is so much quicker to get resources from this than using a hand drill, normal drill, T2 drill, and that early part of the game. This is the best one I've found so far. So that's Drill Sergeant. Link in the video description. Check it out, guys. Number 2 is the Nightshade B. This is a ship that I have created myself, and I know, shameless self-promotion. But the Nightshade is absolutely brilliant first craft. It is super cheap. Just to give you an idea of how super cheap, there you go, 425 iron ingots. It does require Sathium, which can be a little bit of annoying at the first starts, but you should be able to get Sathium quite easily off planet. If you can't, then this might not be ideal for a craft for you. Instead, go for the tier 1 prefab, which doesn't require Sathium, but I'm sure you could probably get 4 Sathium from somewhere. Just raid a base, usually you'll pick it up from there. But other than that, this is a brilliant first vessel to go around a planet with. It is super fast, super maneuverable, it's so lightweight, it's so low profile, it has 2 miniguns on the front, which are more than enough to deal with drones, and if you're a clever enough pilot, then you can even take on point of interest with this thing and win. It has enough cargo capacity in there to do a good raiding ship, at least at the early levels anyway. That's the Nightshade B, ladies and gentlemen. Check it out on the workshop, link below in the video description. Number 3, ladies and gentlemen, is a blueprint that you're going to have regardless whether you like it or not. This is the BA Prefab Tier 1A. This is a starter base. You have this in your library already, so you don't need to go out and get it. This is a brilliant first base, and I recommend this one over the actual Tier 1 prefab, because that one is made of wood, and resource wise there's not really that much in it. I mean, okay, yeah, you're talking about 100 maybe, a few hundred resources there. Wood planks very easy to get, obviously. Iron ingots though, with a Drill Sergeant on your side, and you're getting your iron through your survival constructor, you'll be able to build this one very quickly indeed, and it is worth it. This is a brilliant little base, guys. You've got O2, you've got health, you've got a little bit extra space, all your fuel, O2 and power generating. You've got more grow pots than you do in the other one as well, so you've got a little bit better food production, and of course you've got just an extra room in here with some cargo constructor, 2 fridges, both tier 1s, food processor, I already mentioned that. But yeah, and the other thing is as well that on top of the base it has 2 cannon turrets for self-defense rather than the 1. So this is a fantastic starting base. If you're on a PvE server, this is what I would recommend you go with to start off with, at least anyway. If you're on a PvP server, well, I don't know, I've never played on a PvP server because that's not why I play the game, but I assume you probably want to build your own base underground or something like that. And there we go, guys, the Tier 1A prefab base. Brilliant. Number 4, ladies and gentlemen, is the hover tank. Literally just named the hover tank. This is a brilliant hover vessel. It's very simple. It's pretty cheap as well. You've seen it in my Let's Play series. I've put it to great use. It's got an artillery turret on top, but it also got some space where you can add a couple of minigun turrets on it very easily. And the thing performs brilliantly. It takes a bit of punishment. Not a massive amount of punishment though. Don't get it stuck in front of a Zenu fortress. But you know, it can take a few shots quite easily on the nose and not really notice it. Plus, its artillery turret can absolutely demolish POIs. So great fun, great bit of machine. If you add those 2 minigun turrets on it as well, you're really into a winner there. Internally, it's got everything you need: cargo boxes, constructors, O2, more cargo boxes. Creators have even gone to the lengths of adding some LCD screens up there for funsies. Ammo box and O2 are on the outside, which is a little bit weird, but they're on the back of the tank, which should be relatively safe if you're just taking on POIs. Otherwise, the look of the tank is brilliant. It looks like a tank. He's gone to the length of adding in the little piping on the side here. The attention to detail is really, really good. I love the styling of it. Pure simplicity, and it's just a brilliant size. So this, and there are a load of hover vessels available out there, but this one as a starter is perfect. Number 5, ladies and gentlemen, is, again, and there's another one that's already in your blueprints library. It's a prefab. It is the Tier 2 CV prefab that you can get in your blueprints here. It's the 12,000 iron ingots one. This thing is as your first CV. Absolutely brilliant. If you're going to go for a CV, I would avoid the Tier 1. I know it's a hell of a lot cheaper, but there's 2 main differences between the CV1 and the CV2. Both you can get with resources you can get on a starting planet, okay, or in orbit of a starting planet. If you go to Tier 3, you suddenly need Zascosium and Erestrium. Tier 2A is crap, don't even look at that. But the Tier 2, this is brilliant. And the reason being, it has a docking bay on the underside where you can fit a hover miner, okay? And one of the first things you're going to be doing in game when you get a CV is you're going to be going to the planets with rare resources, Erestrium and Zascosium, and you're going to want a hover miner, because mining that stuff with a Tier 2 drill is just mind-numbingly dull. Okay, so do save up if you can and get this beast, because it's a beautiful ship. It's got plenty of defences on it, cannons and rocket turrets. You've got a space in the back for your small vessel as well, and inside you've got more than enough room for construction, storage, O2. It's got a great garden for food production, and a fantastic looking bridge. Look at this, excellent. So that is the Tier 2 prefab, already in your blueprints. Check it out if you haven't done already. It's a fantastic starting ship. Number 6, guys, is a bit subjective. Now, obviously, this is just my opinion, but I have tried out a number of small vessels, and then when you get to a certain point in the game, you're going to want to upgrade your small vessel from that initial starting one, either if it's the Nightshade, or if it's the Tier 1 prefab, or any other small vessel that's nice and cheap. When you can upgrade, when you've got those rare materials, the NJ2 is a fantastic choice. I've tried this thing out, I've flown it around. It is brilliant, very maneuverable, very well armed, great interior. Interestingly, on the workshop, it's actually called AAA Hubschrauber 2, whereas, sorry, in your blueprints, it's called AAA Hubschrauber 2. In the workshop, it's called NJ2, which is slightly confusing, but hey. And here it is, ladies and gentlemen, the NJ2 or Hubschrauber 2, depending on which page you're looking at. It's a fantastic looking beast. It's armed with 4 railguns and 4 homing rocket launchers, and a minigun on the front for dealing with pesky drones. This thing looks fantastic. I love the design of it. The dropship look almost looks like a crane helicopter in a funny way. But yeah, it just, I do like the looks. It's very nice looking. Inside, you have all the mod cons, a couple of passenger seats, fridges, O2, constructors, cargo boxes for days, and a good, generous helping of fuel tanks to keep it running. I love the design inside. The only problem I have with it is the generators at the front here, which under fire could take damage. However, I do believe, even if they were destroyed, this thing has enough generators to keep it going, even without these 2 at the front. Other than that, it's got a spotlight headlight as always. It's got a really nicely designed cockpit. I like it. And out of the ones that I've tested, this thing manoeuvres pretty well on planet. I haven't actually tried it in space, but yeah, it's not bad. It's probably the same as most small vessels, I would say. As he crashes into an asteroid, brilliant. But the point is, the great thing about this one is the 4 railguns on front means it's really good at sniping POIs, sniping drones. Oh, lots of lag there. What is going on here? So that would makes it very effective and crash. So don't fly it in space. Apparently, you'll go crashing into asteroids, or don't fly it while you're talking because you'll go crashing into asteroids. But I think it's a fantastic looking craft. It's really well equipped and isn't too expensive on the old factory either. You'd pick that up very easily, and you can go trashing POIs in it very easily. But anyway, like I said, it's very subjective when it comes to your second small vessel. Your first small vessel is easy. That's going to be cheap and cheerful. A couple of miniguns on it. Your second one, it could be anything you want. This is the one that I found that I like, and I'm going to be using this from now on, I think. Okay, number 7 for me, guys, is the Halifax frigate, the CV5047 Halifax on the workshop. This thing is great. It is super well armed, and as a second CV, very good choice. It's got everything you need. It looks fantastic. It's not huge. It's not the biggest ship out there. It's certainly not the smallest ship out there, but it's got everything you need, including some extra luxuries, including extra firepower and things like that you would want from a second CV, a second home, if you will. So this thing has got a repair bay. It's got a place for your hover vessel and for your small vessel as well. It's got farms. It's got construction, storage, everything you could possibly ask for. Here it is in the flesh. Let's have a quick look around. So here you got your SV bay, and the doors do close on this. They're just not closing for some reason. There we go. So that's all closed. Here you got your HV bay with the repair bay in it as well. Let's just turn God mode off so we can actually walk around. From the hangar bays, you've got almost direct access to your constructors. I forgot the word then. What were they called? Constructors and storage. So nice and efficient access there. If you carry on going up, you've got direct access again to the bridge. I keep pressing the wrong button. Which has got O2 and medical facilities in it. From the same deck, you've got access to another landing pad on top for a larger SV, if you've got one. Ooh. Here is access to your very generous farm, and he's pre-planted it with the 3 plants that make up tin vegetables, so that's handy. And you can go straight through into another sort of command area where you've got more pilot seats here if you need O2 and medical. Keep on going forward and you start getting into the sort of bowels of the ship, so O2 and fuel, or straight down and out and fall to your pending death. Let's go back in here. So how did we get there? There we go. Right. Yeah, so ammunition storage. Nice, lots of ammo storage in there. More fuel and the core. There's just food processing and storage along the floor. You've got offline protection, gravity generation. We're back in the constructor room there. This goes down to the hangar bays again. Yep. So there we go, pretty much it. I mean, the hover bays as well, you've got a couple of storage lots in here as well, and this is expandable. So you can just add some more storage in here if you want, which is nice. If I turn on God mode, I can just fling through here, and you can see there is some empty space in this part of the ship here. Well, that's pretty much it, guys. Yeah, like I said, it's pretty practical second CV, but on top of that, you've also got a very well armed CV as well, with rocket launchers and pulse lasers on the front. And turrets for days. Look at all the turrets. So if you do get a fight in this, in a fight in this thing, I think you're gonna win. So it's just so well armed. There's 2 artillery turrets on this thing. And come up against an alien space station, that thing is not gonna last very long against this. So there we go. That's the Halifax CV, number 7 on our list. Number 8 on our list, guys, is Angel Spire, and I'm sure you've probably already got this one in there. I have to mention it because it's just such a gorgeous base. I've used it several times in PvE games, and it is just such a nice base to be. Brilliantly designed, great looking. Let's have a look. And here we go. Here's Angel Spire, ladies and gentlemen, and she is a majestic beauty. This is a fantastic base in PvE mode. It's got everything you need, and it's really well designed. It's just a nice place to be. You know, you've got on the ground level, you've got your constructors and storage, which are easily swappable out for advanced constructors. Fuel tanks, generators. You can remove this block here and add an ammo box, which I've done before, so that you can have turrets on this thing. The garden, there's 2 tiers. You've got one there of 9 and another one there of 9, which leads straight onto the kitchen and food processing area. Brilliantly efficient. I removed these tables out of there just so I've got direct access to this floor. Up again, you've got medical and oxygen storage into the ceiling. Again, fantastically efficient design. And we go up to the top level where things start getting a bit what's the word? Aesthetic. Yes. Things start to get a bit aesthetic. If we go further up, again, we've just got the master bedroom, which doesn't have very much practical use. But hey, with this much space in a base, what are you going to do? It looks good. It looks good as well. I'm just going to turn on God mode so that we can have a look outside. That's a brilliant tower. You've got a landing pad there, which I've conveniently parked the ship on. And like I said, if you add an ammo box, you can quite easily add a turret onto the end of here. Just add a few blocks in. I've put a cannon turret on each side of the Angel Spire, just so it is defensible in PvE mode against drones. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Number 8 on our list, the Angel Spire. Number 9 on our list is Villa Arcaso. This is on McFluffface's workshop. If you watch my Let's Play series, you realise I am a fan of his work. This thing is another great looking base. It's a little bit more expensive than the Angel Spire, and it is actually, I think it is a little bit bigger as well. But it looks fantastic. It's got a couple of landing pads. That's not a real ball. And it does look brilliant, and the texturing that he's used in order to trick the light into thinking that that's water. But yeah, it looks great. It's got a little less food capacity inside, but it's got a little bit more landing capacity, as you can see. Let's have a look at it in game. That's the Angel Spire. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Here's Villa Arcaso in the flesh. And if we go in the front door, we've got a bit of a farm here. Not very many grow pots, but you shouldn't really need that many, to be honest. This is, as long as you're raiding, you'll get loads of tinned vegetables anyway. So medical and oxygen. There is also a side entrance to the base here. In my offline games, I've often built a landing pad out this side for a capital vessel, which is quite convenient. Through here, you've got a bit of a garage for hover vessels. So I've again, in my offline modes, I've paved this area with concrete slabs and turned it into an actual hover vessel garage. You can quickly run down here up these steps, and here's the let's try that again. Here's the pool area, and there is no water here, but the texture and lighting that is used here is very, very clever. Through here we have access to the dungeon, where all the working parts of the base are. So you've got generators for fuel, O2, and the constructors and storage down here, as well as obviously the core. But this does lead back up into the main entrance to the base, which is fantastically decorated. Love the way that he's decorated this, these main steps into the sort of kitchen lounge area, where you've got a balcony view over to the angel spire over there, just because I built this all in the same creative session. Brilliantly decorated. I love things like that he's done with the blocks and lighting and this entertainment centre. Very clever. Looks great as a base. Absolutely fantastic. Got everything you need. You got your landing pads out here, and one of them does have a repair bay on them, so that's good. The roof, I've added a turret on the top of that little shack thing there, and just for defense, it's easily enough to do. But otherwise, this thing is already defended by sentry guns anyway, so you shouldn't have any problem with drones, just because these sentry guns are alright at taking out drones. But I like to add a cannon turret on top anyway. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen, number 9, the Villa of Casa. And number 10 on our list, and last but certainly not least, is the Hydra Mark II. This is a capital vessel that you've probably seen on the workshop. It's been on a little while ago, actually. And again, is from Mr. McFluffface's workshop. And the stuff that he builds is just incredible. This thing is no exception. I think it's one of the biggest ships that he's produced. It's a monster. At this stage, you know, if you've got your second CV, you don't really need something this big. You don't really need this thing, but it's. I need to highlight it anyway. I've got to put it in this list just for gratuitous purposes, essentially. Let's have a look. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen, the Hydra Mark II. Oh my god, this thing is enormous. It's not as good as the Stiletto. I'll put it out there. The Stiletto is bigger. But this thing looks incredible. I mean, the attention to detail that this guy goes through and build on his builds is just fantastic. The great thing I like about this as well is it is an asymmetrical design, which you don't see a lot of. Most people obviously turn on the symmetry rules when they're building, and you just have the ship is identical left to right, but this thing is asymmetrical. You've got this huge bulbous thing on the right hand side here, which just isn't on the left, and I love that. I think that is fantastic. From the outside, this thing is well armed as well. I think that's a drill turret. Is that a drill turret? It is a drill turret, yeah. But you've got cannon and pulse laser turrets up here. You've got forward firing rocket launchers here, and pulse lasers and rocket launchers in this thing here as well. And some more turrets on the other side. That's just the front facing. On top you've then got rocket launchers and more turrets towards the rear of the ship as well. So yeah, pretty well damn armed. Let's just take a quick look around the outside. I say quick look. This might take a while. Turn off my HUD. That ass, man. That ass. This thing can be landed, incredibly. I wouldn't want to land it. The amount of fuel it would burn through just entering atmosphere. Holy crap. I love all the pipe work that he's done on the outside here. He's a cross between using pipes and antenna decorations in order to give that effect. And the texturing as well. And it looks pretty good. I love the ripple effect of the armour that he's got on top. From the underside, we've got landing struts. Access underneath. There's custom made landing struts, these are. Even they look pretty good. A bit rough, but you get the point. And some turrets on the bottom. Okay, let's have a look inside. Quick turn off God mode. Let's walk around. So this is the main hangar deck essentially, and it's enormous. You can have sort of 8, maybe even 10 ships in here. Plus a bit of extra space in here as well that you can do whatever you need to with. Gantries are all over the place over the top. Huge amounts of storage. So he's made look like a sort of a living, breathing storage cargo area into constructors, wall-to-ceiling constructors. I think all advanced as well. And some harvester box for the drill turret. There's the NJ2 from earlier. Just to give you perspective of how big that is, one landing pad. That is a big, small vessel. It just quite comfortably fits in one of those landing pads. Fits some smaller hover vessels or even smaller small vessels there. Stairs up to the gantries. I love to see that. I don't like, for some reason, I don't like elevator blocks. I mean, I realise that they're necessary in a lot of ships, but I find that if you can do these sort of stair arrangements, they just generally look a hell of a lot better than elevator blocks. I don't know, that's just me. But we can go up here, and I don't know if there's a door along here actually. I haven't tried it. There is over here, yeah. So you can go straight in from the landing bay into... this must be the canteen lounge area? Crew quarters, luckily. And thankfully, I should say. He signposts everything inside his ships. So if you don't know it like me, you can just walk around and read the signs. So yeah, there's a nice canteen area, lots of food processors and fridges and storage boxes. This is the rear of the ship, isn't it? It's like 10 forward, but 10 backwards. I'm not sure about the orange. Well, this is the thing with Fluffface's stuff. Externally, the ships look fantastic. It's fantastic looking machines, and then internally, he has questionable interior design skills. Farming, quarters. What's down there then? Hangar, fuel tanks, reactors, warp drive, and a bar. Oh yeah. There's a bar down here, guys. 10 forward lounge. Yes, it was 10 forward. I thought it was. Look at this. It's a bit of a lame 10 forward. But I like the idea. And I love the reference. Right. I'm going to God mode just to speed this up a bit. I'm just going to God mode my way through the rest of the ship. Let's see what we got. Oh, this is the gravity control area that we saw. That's right at the front. Oh, wow, we traversed the entire ship. Oh yeah, that's that big long corridor. The constructor and the warp fuel. I love God mode. Just literally hack your way through a ship. There's that hangar. On the opposite side, lots of thrusters, it seems. Big ass thrusters. Oh, it looks like there's some kind of medical lab thing going on there. Oh. Oh, right, yeah. Oh, look at all that storage there. Storage and food processors. Looks like quarters and whatnot. More thrusters. Just a random room. Big LCD. I didn't add any grow pots because I know how annoying it could be to gather so many anyway. In this 2 greenhouses enough space for 324 growing plots, but you could use the space for anything. Sincerely, my Fluffface. That's a really good idea. Yes, so you don't need actually any grow pots because it is annoying having to gather grow pots in order to build the blueprint. You could just build the blueprint and add the grow pots in yourself as you get them. I like that. Excellent idea. Main hangar 3. This is a hangar? Really? What are you going to get in here? Seriously? Right. Okay. Back to God mode. Let's finish this one off with a quick tour of the bridge. Yeah, I don't like how much he's used the shutter doors, mostly because the noise they make is really annoying. But anyway, here is the bridge, ladies and gentlemen. I love this bridge, it's fantastic. The colour lighting is the same that I used on the Stiletto's bridge. That sort of blue hue gives it the kind of sort of action stations look. These forward con stations are brilliant. I love that. And you've got a little downstairs bit here for reasons. Yeah, it's a really nice bridge. I like it. So there we are, ladies and gentlemen, the Hydra Mark II, number 10 on our list of 10 things you must have in your blueprints library. And I've spawned in, you can see over there, I spawned in a hell of a lot of ships. Have a look through some stuff. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed this episode, Top 10 Things. Do leave me a comment if you agree or disagree, or you want me to have a look at a particular blueprint for the next episode. And as always, leave a like if you like, subscribe if you want to see more stuff, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.